Hi there, welcome to another week of Counter-Strike game and skin market update. This is SkinomiCS2, and this video covers the 21st to 27th of April 2025. A quick word from our sponsor CS Money before we dive in. Go to trade mode, easily find the skin you want, and trade it in a few seconds. You can fund your purchases via your skins or a variety of methods. For something different, big discount on skins, you should definitely try the market mode. It is peer-to-peer, so it means you can find very good deals there. You can sell your skins instantly as well to cash out. Follow the link in the description and start trading skins the best way. Let's start this week with the final update to the Shanghai Stickers. These stickers have officially been removed from the store on Monday. Since then, Steam prices have risen above the sale price of 25 cents. However, return on unboxing have become even more abysmal, with the best challenger autograph package standing at a mere 62%. By plotting the trend with the confirmed sale days from the Shanghai Major, these sales have become even longer than an exponential line. However, as I mentioned last week, these sales cannot extend significantly longer given the semi-annual major schedule now. Looking at the Armory Pass, the new train collection has managed to put itself at the very bottom of the chart with only a 59% return on unboxing. The ROI of redeeming the Fever case have also dropped to 128%, down from over 200% in the week before. Now an update on the finishes of the new knives. According to CS Float data, we have actually seen a significant reduction in Doppler finishes, with the 8 types adding up to any other finish. In particular, we have seen Black Pearl having a low registration rate as well, whilst Ruby and Sapphire is still as common as P1 to P4 for now. We must now talk about the crazy price surges during the week affecting very particular items. First, all Phase 2 Doppler knives rose, with the Talon shooting up 40% in one day on the 22nd of April. Then, items such as the Rox Hollow and Factory New Print Stream also surged in prices. Western forum discussions have quickly pointed out to Chinese market manipulation, although I am unsure if it is true. What we do know is that the surge is indeed caused by Chinese investors. There have been a new wave of money that have been injected into the CS skin economy. This in itself is not market manipulation. Market manipulation is defined by ill intention of short-term gain at the expense of other investors, most often via pump and dump schemes. We have yet to see the dump part of the equation. In addition, some of the gain is fueled by fear of missing out from normal players. I cannot predict what will happen from here. Rumors circulate is that the new wave of money injection are organized and will dump at the same time. We shall see. Moving on, the 2 bankruptcy speculations from last week have come true. 9Panda has placed their entire roster on the bench, whilst Astralis are seeking a sale of its Counter-Strike division. Astralis is a publicly listed company on the Danish stock exchange. The stock price has fell from a peak of 9 Danish krone in 2020 to only 1.15 now. Vitality took home IEM Melbourne this week. This was a significant event, as this has meant the team has completed the Intel Grand Slam, which involves winning 4 competitions within a span of 10 ESL events. Vitality players received a combined $1 million for their efforts. The final for the event against Falcon lasted 6.5 hours and peaked at 1.25 million viewers, which is the second most for a non-major event. Even the French President Emmanuel Macron congratulated Vitality after their win. This is a sign Counter-Strike is becoming more mainstream. We had also seen the Mongolian president meeting with the Mongols team earlier this year. BTrams on Twitter released some more interesting graphics this week. The graph shown on screen right now is the kills and deaths per round for the AK. In particular, Zawu has excelled by having the second best ratio in the Tier 1 pro scene, despite his main role being an AWPer. In a table format, we see Donk as expected top the chart. We can also see the laggards. Dexter is the only non-IGL amongst the worst ratios in this group. Finally, let's move on to our weekly craft idea. I have a Kawaii Cat for you this week. The entire craft costs about $3 so it is not too expensive. To create it, first place 2 noble stickers as the base acting as ears. Then layer 2 Hydro Wave stickers acting as cheeks. Lastly, place Kawaii Eye sticker in the center to form the entire image. Switching gears to the market, the SkinomiCS2 Index, which contains a list of items I used to represent the market, increased by 0.8% this week. This increase is very uneven across different segments of the market, as we will come to see. In a similar fashion, the eSport Fire Index, which contains a list of 300 high-value liquid items, saw increases as well. The new capital injection we spoke about have concentrated on these higher valued items. Moving on to buff value of trade and trade volume data sourced from ridetrade.gg. There is a general trend towards more trading on the platform. With the total value and volume data sourced from SteamDT, we can see volume remaining at a high level and trending upwards as well. Note that data is skewed by the removal of yelping data. Now, let's break the skin market movements down into categories. Starting off with knives and gloves, Doppler skins have climbed significantly, whereas other relatively expensive items have also increased slightly. Higher tiered weapon skins increased overall as well. In particular, the Pinkstream M4 has been part of the capital injection list. The same cannot be said for agents, which have experienced a slight decline this week. Last but not least, we saw the affordable weapon segment declining quite significantly. None of the new wave of investors have inserted their money into mass market items. Moving on, according to CS2 Case Tracker, case unboxing numbers remain relatively high at 8.1 million in the week. Player count has also been stable at a peak of 1.7 to 1.8 million on a daily basis. With case prices, non-active cases that contain the original knives have increased significantly, including both Chroma and Gamma, whereas others have been relatively more stable. Active cases by contrast have had a poor week. The items contained within do not overlap with the new wave of capital injection. In addition, the kilowatt case has declined meaningfully. Let's now take a glimpse at this week's biggest winners and losers. In winners, we have an old low-volume shock sticker, an equally low-volume P2000 Amber Fade from the old Dust 2 collection, as well as the SSG Turbo Peak from Operation Riptide. Out of the three, the Turbo Peak is the only one clearly driven by increased market demand. In the losers, all three items come from the recent Armory Pass update again. The high unboxing volume for these items have overridden the demand several fold. On to the top trades of the week sourced from the skin trading site iTrade.gg. On buff, a non-souvenir Dragon Lore topped the list. It is adored by a Cato 14 LDLC holo on the scope and 3 Cato 15 Vox holos on the body. The second place was a Emerald Butterfly, whereas the third place was a pair of Crimson Kimonos in very low float factory new condition. On CS Float, the top spot was taken by a Ruby Karambit, which typically goes for a bit less, but this example demanded overpay for a cleaner blade. The other two were Emerald Butterflies again, although interestingly, the second most expensive sale was made by fellow YouTuber TDM Jesus. Moving into game news, there were no updates this week again. Valve would have just came back from their annual trip this week, so this was expected. In addition, major gameplay updates are unlikely within the next month as we approach the Austin Major. Now onto the pro scene. Vitality's IEM Melbourne win puts them into a win streak of 21, only beaten by Liquid in 2019 and the legendary NIP roster in 2012. Perfect World confirmed a Shanghai-based Tier 1 event for October. They are set to host more events following the success of the Shanghai Major. In other news, Astralis replaced KDM with XG2 RGR Hooksy. Virtus Pro benched their coach Pashanoi with Finn. BC Game benched Jakim due to his significant debt and bad public image. Ex-big player Tizian announced retirement. Gamer Legion coach Ash announced contract extension amidst rumors of Liquid wanting him. Furia benched Skulls for Yakinda as the team is aiming to move to an international roster. Paying signs DGT. I am still open to skin donations, and a reminder to join my Discord. Please like, share and subscribe. On that bombshell, that was all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next one. Bye.